Mick, you ready?
Well, I hope he's ready because we're live.
Oh, hey.
I'm Arthur Perkins. This is Apgamingreal. We're on episode 17 of On the Tabletop. This will be our last D&D episode until the guy above me, Mccomicker. Oh, shit. I gotta fucking use my other hand. There we go. Guy above me, Mccomicker, returns. If he never returns, that also means we will never return to D&D. That's it. We'll be done.
I think that's how that works.
Yeah. Now, at the end of the last episode, people thought I outed myself, right? Because I mentioned drows and fangs. I would like to point out that that was a joke. There is no form of major media where drow regularly have fangs, but we did learn something on the Discord about Connor, that he likes to have his protagonist be punished, specifically Kazador, and that is why, without Connor knowing, the rest of the cast and I have entered into a business proposition. So, there will be an anthology done by the three of them, with me acting as the business manager, called Kazador and the Dungeons of Clan Shadowspinner. Okay? Let me tell you something. There will be extremely stereotypical drow torture lines like, looks like you like to be punished. There will be so many Mick pictures of Kazador upside down, hanging from some chains, being covered in spider silk. That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
We haven't gone nearly as dark as Berserk, so I mean that just we're still sticking pretty tame then at that point. I mean,
Kickstarter coming soon.
Yeah, Kickstarter coming soon. Kazador and the Clan Shadowspinner Anthologies Volume 1. In all seriousness, I actually did read White Ash this week, and it was pretty good. Okay.
Thank you.
I think the best part was when my name was in the back of the book, but
that was a pretty decent part, wasn't it? Anyone could do that who joins our Kickstarter.
Nothing is better though than in Rovers, where literally everyone in every direction of that book had all used their actual names, and then there's just all caps Apgamingreal. Oh my god, I felt like such a jackass reading it.
I don't think you're the only person that uses all caps like that. There's a few people. I mean,
yeah, but I'm the first one on the first page. I'm the only one on the first page, I think.
Well, at least you're not. Yeah, I mean.
At least I'm not what, Connor? At least I'm not Robert Baratheon?
At least you're not, hey, Charlie, what's going on? Yeah. No, I mean, there's definitely all kinds of techniques you can get to the front of the line on those things. And so, you can do that too. But being A puts you pretty near the tippy top.
It's true. It's true. I have been punished in that particular way. I know that you enjoy that particular word, so I have been punished with having an A name. So yeah. All right. I had a fever yesterday, which meant I slept most of the day, and this morning I was like, haha, fever, suck it. I'm going to go to the gym because I'm perfectly fine. And then I was leaving the gym and everyone was like, you're pale. Do you want me to drive you home? Are you all right? Do you need a cracker? And I'm like, I'm fine. Don't worry, guys. I'm perfectly fine. And then I came home and I drank 4 liters of water and I had 24 cloves of garlic, apparently.
What?
24. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I used a fuck ton of garlic to cook lamb roast.
Wow.
And then the garlic ended up inside the lamb and ended up being on the outside of the lamb. And the gravy was basically 70% garlic by weight.
That sounds fantastic.
Better than what I was thinking. I just thought you ate straight 20 cloves of garlic.
No, that would actually probably taste terrible. I mean, just straight up garlic is not the tastiest thing in the world.
Like, what if you roasted it? Like, just roasted garlic? That tastes...
Yeah, with butter. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right, but garlic is like salt. It's just better with other things.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Really? Come on, I don't know why you have to even think about that. You ever just put straight salt on your tongue and be like, so good.
Roasted garlic is heavenly, but you know, then you have the worst farts all night though, so it kills the rest of the house. But it tastes so good.
Well, all I want to say is normally Normally, I'm out there looking for, you know, a nice hot vampire chick to bite me and drain all my blood away. But today, ladies, I gotta tell you, you need to stay away. That's all I'm saying. If you are a drow with fangs, I gotta tell you no. That's all there is to it.
No punishing today.
No.
For your own good.
Connor, is it your birthday today?
No,
It is totally.
It would never be.
Connor, is it your birthday today?
No,
Definitely not. I believe he's 35.
no, we're 26, man. We're all 26 in this channel. Our channel.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's weird for me to be older than the entire rest of the cast then, but all right. Connor, is it your birthday today?
Nope.
Look,
Yep.
I'm not asking for the fucking age, dog. I'm just asking you if it's your birthday. I don't give a shit how old you are.
You're as old as you feel, all right? You're as old.
Oh my god, Connor. You're just
a lot
the
older than
most
35.
evasive person possible right now.
I'm pretty evasive.
Just do your
generally.
fucking intro. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, my name is Connor Hughes, and
it's my
Twitch
birthday?
here on twitch.tv. making the comics generally. Maybe be on later tonight, so you can look forward to that. Other than that, for now, this is my whatchamacallit? What do they call it? Geek Gnome on the left here, and that's Mick on the right. Mick, what you up to tonight?
Well, I'm not having a birthday, for one.
Nor am I. Nor would anyone consider themselves to be having birthdays at this time.
I am Mccomicker. I also draw the comics, although I won't be streaming for the foreseeable future because school is out and the summer has started.
School's out.
Oh, summer.
What are you gonna spend the summer doing? I mean, we're gonna be missing you.
I'll just, secretly work on comics and probably like dig a ditch in the yard to install another French drain, which is an awful experience.
Oh yeah, that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
I'm considering renting a jackhammer to like do some sidewalks, but I mean, I also want to keep my feet, so I'm a little worried.
Yeah, it's rough.
You know, Mick, for a while I was worried that I would have to add you to the list of artists who I have to chase down and beat to death in order to give them money. And you're still on that list, don't get me wrong. You're like number 3 on there. But here's the deal. It's easier to get a commissioned art from you than it is to get you to give me the art that you do on this show. Do you remember 3 weeks ago when you were supposed to give me all of the art that you've been working on for this show so I could add it to the art stream?
I think I actually exported it all too. I just never gave it to you.
My God. That's it. I got nothing else to say to you, Mick. Like, there's a minimum level of effort involved here.
No one wants that art anyway.
I mean, I want that art. I want that art so I could throw it up there in that overlay. I mean, that overlay will be going away shortly, but it'll be back eventually.
See, you don't need it now.
It'll be back when you're back, so, you know.
That's
It's
true.
always good to be prepared, Mick.
You know, I am a fan of Be Prepared.
I'm also a fan of You're Welcome. You're welcome.
You are welcome, Connor.
I'm a fan of Happy Birthday.
I mean, in this case, you are the one.
For the
you're
sun
one-
and the stars and the skies, you're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, you as DM should be saying that. Hey, thank you, Bearded.
Yeah. Well, you know, Connor, sometimes I take an eel and then I bury its guts. Then it sprouts a tree and then you have coconuts. Okay? That's all I'm
Pretty
saying.
amazing.
What?
Yeah, no problem. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Pretty good.
Wait, what happened? I just.
Delicious.
How do
Coconuts
you
are
make?
delicious.
Ouch.
Doesn't have birthday as much as Mick is organized. I mean, you gotta be pretty organized to do French drains.
You would say that, but you don't know about the 4 separate trips I made to Home Depot today because I was like, oh shit, I forgot that thing.
How far are you from Home Depot?
It's about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm 20 minutes from Home Depot. So,
So
3
ship.
trips in a day is not an option.
We gonna pass it along, or we're just gonna?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Mick
yes.
to bat it along here.
I'm waiting for my cue.
No. it's because it's my last week, so I'm keeping it all for myself. I'm the only one who gets the spotlight tonight, even though it's not my birthday, and like it is Connor's birthday, because Connor has a birthday today on his birthday.
Oh no!
You're gonna come at me with a birthday gift on my birthday?
Shep, why don't you offer Connor some birthday congratulations?
Congratulations on your birthday, Connor. It was my birthday 3 days ago.
Oh really?
Ooh.
It really was.
I was not told this either.
I was not told this either. Congratulations.
I didn't tell anyone until after the
What the
fact.
hell, guys?
Why does no one tell anyone else's birthdays? How the fuck do I make the layer toolbar come back, Connor? I gotta look at the layer toolbar. Where is it?
It's there on the bottom right. I mean, I'm using it. Right now I'm in layer 2.
I mean, yeah, I closed it just on my instance, and now I can't get it. Where did it go?
I'm seeing it on your screen.
I have freehand brushes color input.
You're trying to see the menu? Sorry, folks.
No, like the layer off to the side, like the toolbar for it.
Okay, that's probably under. I'll show you. I'll type it out to you, man, so we can move on. You want to pass it along?
I did. I asked
It
Shep.
was already passed. So I'm robSHEPart on Twitter. Come find me. Yay. Ricardo, it's your turn.
Yeah, bearded jalapno on Twitch and Instagram and Twitter and probably other things in the future. And it's not my birthday. And let's play DnD.
We don't have anything else we need to cover?
It's not Connor's birthday.
Besides that, no. I mean, I went to Fanime this weekend. That was pretty fun.
Oh, yeah?
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, cool.
All right. Intros are officially done. Just a reminder, in case you skipped intros on YouTube, this is the last D&D episode for a while. Cottontailed will be joining us on the cast next week for Stars Without Numbers Revised game. So we'll be doing an episode 0 next week. It will probably be shorter than normal. We'll probably have less drawing than normal because everyone will be supposed to be working on their character sheets and backstories.
I've already got some sketches of
Do both at the same time.
That's fine. As long as it gets done, I don't care.
So far,
But
he's
if you
looking
don't do your homework, you don't get to make your character sheet, or you don't get to make your character art deserts, okay? If your character isn't canon, I don't care what they look like.
It's true. Well, so far he's looking like an Asian Bowie, so we'll see how that goes.
Jesus.
You mean David Bowie?
Yep, David Bowie.
No, Asian Bowie.
What does that look like?
Well, I mean, that's just the sketch I have. I don't know if it's gonna be final or anything.
If I know anything about how Connor draws, he's going to have 5 different versions.
Yeah.
I want to say, by the way, before we kick this off, Radisaurus was talking at the end of the last Battletech episode. He's like, I don't understand how Connor draws. You know, everybody I know, we draw like an outline, we draw some shapes. Connor just starts by like drawing an eyeball, and several minutes later, he's got a whole character. I can't follow what he's doing, and I'm like, that's me with everybody, man. I don't understand how any of you artists do that shit. I can't even draw a straight line. I can't even draw a stick figure with a straight line tool.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Connor's like 5 steps ahead of me when he's
I
drawing.
don't want to hear this from you, Shep. You're like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm as good as everybody else. And then you're like, look at this fucking illithid summoning a ball of psionic energy. I look like I literally crawled off of a 1980s Dragon magazine panel. And you're just like, I don't know, guys. I don't think this is a very good drawing. And I'm just like, look at this fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
It is era specific. It is literally the most AD&D metal ass shit I've seen from this stream.
Exactly.
Thank you. But if you drew more, you would understand why I think these guys are better than I am.
Sure. No, you don't mean if I drew more. You mean if I had any knowledge about drawing at all. Symmetry or physiology or really any of the words that come with drawing.
Biology.
Yeah. But it's good stuff. Appreciate the words, though, man.
Well, unlike Connor. No, wait. I'm going to drop this joke midway through. I worked it out, and I realized that the ending wasn't as funny as I thought it was. I was almost there, but I decided to back away from that one. Previously,
so many openings. Oh god, did that synergize well with the joke?
Yes, actually.
Nice.
Don't worry about it.
Now
Previously on this show, The party traveled to the Undergnome city of Blingdenstone at the edge of the Underdark. They found a beacon of light, dimly lit, but still the shining jewel of darkness, barely surviving at the edge of invasion. Already across the city, the scars of the invasion of the Dark Elves of Clan Shadowspinner were still visible. Rik-Jaxx, leading the party through the city, helped them sell off their remaining wheat stockpile that Kazador promptly, pooped out. Just want to remind you that Kazador decided to eat some poisonous raw wheat.
Pretty good.
I mean, you gotta get those Wheaties in, man.
No, Wheaties and raw wheat are not the same thing. Wheaties are processed wheat.
Ah, the Kaz, they're all
Why they're called Wheaties and not wheat.
like baby wheat.
Rik-Jaxx found himself invited to join the intelligence apparatus of the Deep Gnome Nation, known as the Securitat, and then found his way to his family's estates, which now have lain open in use as an orphanage. Having met with the person who now runs the place, Matron Gwafina, he agreed to allow her to stay on and moved into the guest house she had prepared for any visitors, where the party will be staying. We come back with the four of you and Matron Gwafina sitting down around a furnished dining room table. So the matron kind of smooths out the rather thin, decaying, kind of moth-eaten tablecloth cover and says, "You had several questions outside about me, about these estates, about Clan Shadowspinner, the city in general, the 7 defenders. I will be happy to answer any of those here or at any time that you require. Is there anything specifically you'd like me to talk about first?"
What are the whereabouts of Clan Shadowspinner these days?
Clan Shadowspinner, as with most of the Drow, tend to move about throughout the Underdark, which is the area directly below the city that extends into the nothingness. If you want to know more about them, I would suggest you speak with one of the battalions, or perhaps the Securitat, although, as you're Dwarven, I suspect that the Securitat will not speak with you.
Yeah, I'd say so. Maybe Rik-Jaxx will talk to them.
So tell me how you got, I'll say control, for lack of a better word, control of this estate. I mean, how is it that you, a drow, and excuse me for being blunt, but the drow were attacking the city, but how is it that you, a drow, are now a refugee in the city, in this sector specifically? I mean, what's the story there?
That is a complicated question. I don't take any more offense to it than I do on a average day. And this is, of course, your home, so I suppose you should know the reason why. It's been a while since I've had to discuss this, since everyone in the city lived through it, but let's see where to begin. I suppose it would be best to simply say that the Clan Shadowspinner do not represent all of the Dark Elves, or Drow as you call them. They are militant, magical, ruthless, but they are not all of us. In fact, they represent a very small portion of us, but that portion is exceedingly powerful. They have gained great dark magics through their union. They are mobile, cruel, and relentless. As for how exactly I came to be here, as I mentioned previously, Drow throughout the city have been gathered up. Those who were left behind during Clan Shadowspinner's invasion, those who were born in the aftermath of it, and those who simply come to the city seeking refuge. They are sent here to prepare them.
Prepare them for what?
Auxiliary battalions. Any dark elf that is willing to live in Blingdenstone must live their life in service to Blingdenstone as part of the vanguard of the forces.
Interesting. So much has changed. Okay. And then you, and he looks around, but like you're the caretaker of the children?
I am
Now,
the matron here.
Are the children all races? I forgot.
No, the children here are only drow.
Okay.
What is the status of the children and you? Are you...
Several are almost old enough. Maybe. I believe Khalik is about 2 months away from being sent to the battalions. We have some as young as 3. They are educated as best as I can provide it, and the older ones help teach the younger ones. When we have time, when I have occasion to, we travel into the city and seek tutorage from experts.
So you don't have any issues going to the city? The city's a free space for all?
It is as one might expect for one of my status.
I assume that means more difficult then. Gotta be on your toes.
It would be rude of me to speak unkindly of my hosts.
Okay.
If you find it unsafe or maybe unsavory, why do you stay here?
There is no place left for me in the Underdark.
Is there no home city of the Drow that you can go to?
I chose exile from my clan as a result of the events of Clan Shadowspinner.
What did you find so objectionable that they did in particular?
I would prefer not to answer that.
Okay. In what service did you render Clan Shadowspinner when you served with them?
I never served with Clan Shadowspinner.
Okay. You were... Okay.
So were you here when the Shadow Spinners invaded the city?
No.
Or did you come afterwards?
Came shortly after.
Okay.
Is there anything we can do to make your time here easier?
That is a question I have for you. Master Jax is the owner of this property. These are his estates.
I'm not worried about his estate. I'm worried about the state of the children in particular.
They are provided for by the royal palace.
Okay.
I will say that I believe that their nutrition has been lacking, and if they could be provided with more meat, I believe they would grow up healthier, but we get by with what resources we are given, and we thank the royal family for what they have done for us.
But of course.
The royal family is supportive of Drow, such as yourself, in this town.
The royal family is large, and their opinions are as diverse as their members.
All right. I don't necessarily have any questions now, but if I have more questions, I'll certainly ask.
So are you moving to, like, stand up from the table?
I would, well, actually, no. I mean, I'd be, the first thing I would do is be curious in what we're eating. If she wants to present, if we're eating dinner, then I'd be curious in what we're eating.
She does not have any dinner ready and waiting for you when you walk in off the street, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought everyone invites their guests to dinner. All right.
We didn't exactly invite ourselves.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll stand and walk around stuff, and I'll tell you, you know, we're going to be spending some time here getting used to the city because everything is different than I remember. So you can count on us being here for a bit. And as Runa says, perhaps there's some way we can mutually help each other, but I have no idea what yet.
So, as you're getting ready to walk away from this conversation, Mortrick and Runa, both of you hear someone walking on the second floor. They are definitely attempting to sneak around. And it sounds like they're walking right here. So they're preparing to, like, lean over a balcony and listen down on your conversation from what you can tell from their, like, tip, tap, tip, tap.
Okay, I'll just look over in that general direction.
You don't see anything yet.
Oh, okay.
Are you using one of the maps?
Yeah, he's using the top one.
Yep.
Oh, I see that. Okay.
It appears we have another guest.
Are we going to go find out who that is, or are we just going to let them come down when they're ready?
Who?
You wouldn't notice, Kaz. It's fine.
Oh,
I wouldn't expect you to know what's going on. So when you all make a point of talking about it out loud, Kazador, you actually catch this. So Rik-Jaxx, surprisingly, you have the lowest passive perception score. You literally have a 0. So you don't notice it until it happens. But Kazador, and obviously Runa and Mortrick, you see a dark elf youth, probably a young man, swing it down from the banister and go feet first to, like, land on the table. So he's wearing 2 knives and a tunic and some loose pants, but yeah, he's just, like, invading this table space.
How old is he?
It's hard to tell, you know. I mean, he's definitely a teenaged elf.
So, like, he's probably an inmate of this establishment.
An inmate?
It's one of the children. I'm assuming the oldest.
Fruitfield.
So no one reacts in any hostile way.
No.
Oh, hey, little sprat.
So he goes down to one knee in front of you, Rik-Jaxx, and says, "Master Jax, I am Natalta. If you would but offer me arms and armor, I would become a knight in your service." And then he bows his head. In the background, Matron Gwafina is glaring death daggers with her eyes at him.
I like this kid.
You do, huh?
Yeah,
And-
so, you know, in the brief time you've gotten to see him, he looks like he's got kind of strong cheekbones, but just, like, really unkept, silvery hair. That's now just, like, floofing down because he's bowed his head in front of you.
Yeah, what's his name again?
Natalta.
Natalta. And I'll say, Natalta, you can rise. I don't think it's my place to accept any knights, young or otherwise. But why would you want to be, you know, why would you pledge to someone you've never met before?
So he awkwardly gets off of the dinner table while not looking at Gwafina and stands at attention in front of you and says, "I have heard of your bravery on the surface and that you accept the surface ways, and that is why I offer myself as a knight to you."
As well as not being able or not wanting to go into the army or the reserve.
"If you do not accept me in your service, Master Jax, I will gladly join the auxiliary battalion. It would be an honor to serve Blinkenstone. But it would be a greater honor to serve the one who helped raise me."
Heard, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that drow, they get hurt in the sun. Is that not the case?
"'Tis true."
Okay. I was just worried that if you continued your service with us,
I don't know. We managed to not kill Hal. I think we could not kill this kid too. I don't know how we would not kill him, but we could make it happen.
I mean, Hal pulled the cart. Yeah, it's true.
Right? Like, I don't feel like we took it easy on Hal at any point. So, like, hey, kid, listen, if you think you can hack it with us, like, we are pretty big up there. I mean, we have seen
I'm sorry, who are you?
I wouldn't say that I have like a formal title. I would say I'm probably like maybe under assistant secretary to Sir Rik, as he's known. It's an honorary position, and I am honored to hold it, much like you would be were you to be conferred, an honorary position. Is that what you're asking for? Like, wait, what am I talking about again? I kind of forget sometimes.
Yes, Mick, you've lost us all.
So, Mortrick, Runa, while this is happening, for everyone else in the room, Matron Gwynfinna just looks like she's neutral or slightly annoyed. For Mortrick and Runa, you notice that her eyes are completely dead.
I'm just saying, kid, like, this is a conversation we need to have at like maybe a different time and not in like the middle of right now. So let me just write down your name and number. I'll have my people call your people. We'll get something figured out, and we can review your application at a more appropriate time.
Can I insight check her to see kind of what her...
Sure. Next time you can ask ahead of time before you make the roll.
I know,
but a 19's not bad. Look.
Success.
Bearded, I have to tell you, you do have this bad habit of being like, I'm going to roll something and then say I'm going to roll it. But let me tell you something. It's much better than your original habit of saying, I don't want to roll anything. I want to use real dice. We'll get you there eventually.
I just do it to not interrupt the flow of the conversation.
Now we got him. Yep. Yeah. What are you looking for specifically about her?
Her demeanor in relation to the kid. Is she really taking care of him? Is that sort of the
demeanor in relation to the kid?
What is their relationship with each other?
This is okay. So here's the thing: your insight is not going to be able to tell you that right now. Your insight will tell you right now that she's not particularly annoyed with him. Mm-hmm. Right now, she's treating him as if he's already dead. As if the actions he's taken right now were against her wishes, and that if he does this, he'll die.
Got it.
And that she's just like, okay, well, if this is what he wants to do, he's dead. That's all there is to it.
Right. All right. We appreciate your dedication to the cause, but currently we have no more openings in our party.
All right.
I like how you say cause as if we actually have one, Runa. Like, that's pretty neat. I hadn't thought about that.
So his whole body is shaking right now because clearly this conversation didn't go the way he thought it would. But he does turn sharply and march out of the room. And you can hear him march out the front door where he slams the front door. And that's where you lose track of him.
So, like, all this time you spend training child soldiers, I mean, it's got to wear on a person, right? Like, do you train them to be soldiers, or you just kind of train them to be people? So
the auxiliary battalions will deal with their military training.
Okay.
I train them to be drow.
Quite the spirited one he is.
He would volunteer early if it was allowed.
How much longer does he have before he goes in?
About 8 months.
So neither here nor there. Ready to go somewhere.
Real quick, you said my passive is 0, but it should be 12. Where did you see 0?
Is it?
His modifier is 0.
Your passive perception is 12, right? 0? Yeah. No, your passive perception is 0. Your passive insight is 12.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that make my passive perception 10?
Yes, your passive perception is 10. That's because it's 10 plus 0.
Gotcha.
0.
Okay, thank you. Understood. Thank you.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
the conversation is left slightly awkwardly for a moment.
Are the rest of the children in the same state? Are there any others that are...
No, not as many believe as strongly as Natalta in the Sorrows.
What are the names of the other children?
It would take some time to list them. There are almost 24.
Wait, what are the sorrows like specifically? How do you define the sorrows?
It will begin in a few minutes if you'd like to hear one of the parts of it, but the Sorrows are a series of daily musical passages that are played in areas nearby, community centers in every part of Blingdenstone. There are 4 parts to it, each lasting 10 days, that cover Blingdenstone before the fall, Blingdenstone during the fall, the betrayal of the dwarves, and everything that's happened up until now.
And I'm guessing you guys like don't come out real great in these retellings.
The Sorrows make it clear where the difference between the Drow and Clan Shadowspinner are.
Well, that's nice.
And is this these dwarves? Are you talking about Clan Laos or a different clan?
It is a different clan. The clan that was technically not any particular clan. It was a band of mercenary dwarves who were commissioned to defend Blingdenstone. They were sent to this very district, actually, in order to defend against the Clan Shadowspinner Drider invasion, and they instead chose to step aside and flee the city with their money rather than defend it with their life.
So, I mean, it's not like you had a lot of white knuckles who just got all, lily-livered at the last minute. These guys actually left with something.
It sounds like they
How much do you
abandoned
actually know about Clan Whiteknuckle? It would
I know this one's a big scaredy cat. That's pretty much it. I just assume they're all the same. You know how dwarves are.
Clan Whiteknuckle has renowned for its military victories against the Shadowspinner clan.
Ooh, that makes it worse for you, Kaz. I had no idea.
They were one of the first clans to fall against Clan Shadowspinner.
Just gives me more reason to hate them, Mortrick.
I guess that makes sense. And yourself.
Well, I mean, saying, but
I'm sorry, Master Dwarf, I didn't catch your name.
my name is Kazador Whiteknuckle.
You are the Kazador Whiteknuckle.
Unfortunately, that seems to be the case.
That would make you the first victim of Clan Shadowspinner.
How so?
Would seem that you would be more capable of telling than I. You must have been there when it happened.
I don't recall encountering any drow in my military experience. Not too many, anyway. Mostly it was dwarves, some trolls. Sorry, not dwarves. Mostly goblins, orcs, and so forth. Various underdark creatures, but never drow.
But you were there at the fall of Carandine.
I was not there at the fall of Carandine. I was in the mines, and then they fell later.
Then it would seem my information is incorrect.
Yes. It's still a sad story.
My understanding was that your mining team encountered the shadow part of Clan Shadowspinner.
That might be the case, but my memory is that it was an obsidian rock, and
Maybe a shadow demon?
yes, those things.
Surely you know your own backstory, Connor.
I do know my backstory, but I mean, what I had written, it was not involving, like, to my understanding, drow. I thought, but maybe I'm wrong.
Indeed, this might be the first you've heard of it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's how I was playing it. Okay, you go
That's good, because that's how I was playing it too. I'm revealing that your backstory and Rik-Jaxx are connected right here, live on stream. But let's just go ahead and enumerate that out loud for the audience and break
For
immersion.
those in the audience who don't understand what's happening. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Nick.
Mick wants to make sure that we all understand out of character what's happening. So the matron puts her hands on the table and says, "It was the first time Clan Shadowspinner tested their newfound powers. They would place things in the stone, sealing demons into the stone and then leaving them there to incubate weeks, months. And when someone comes across it on patrol or to mine it or even just walking down the cavernway, it would be released, having gathered the power of the Underdark around it, that radiation that passes around us, the energy that gathers, birthing a creature. With that successful test, it would go on to become their most powerful tactic over the years. They still use it. Yes, Clan Shadowspinner is a clan of Fey warlocks. They are drow who have indebted themselves to some unknown power, and through that unseelie court, they have gained access to demons.
Truly horrific. It truly was the worst thing you could imagine when I saw that demon coming from that rock.
So normally, Kazador, talking about this would make you want to reach for a drink.
Yeah.
That part of you is gone now.
Right.
Instead, you reach for the warhammer.
Right. Yeah,
you find yourself unconsciously gripping the hammer, and when you look down, you truly have white knuckles.
Gripping it fast, huh? Yeah. So where are these? Are they close? Are the Clan of Shadows that are close? Are they still around? Maybe we should go join one of these patrols.
Undoubtedly, Clan Shadowspinner is within the city, but how could you tell one from any other drow? It is a serious issue.
So they're masters of subterfuge as well as magic.
How do we know you're not a shadow spinner?
Well, they don't have to be masters of particularly good subterfuge. It's not that there are thousands of drow here, but there are hundreds like myself who live our life here. How do you know that I am not a member of Clan Shadowspinner is an excellent question.
Probably not one best for table.
As I previously alluded to, I chose exile from my clan as a result of their choices regarding Clan Shadowspinner.
Do I think she's telling the truth?
Yes. You not only believe that, but you believe that there's definitely a greater and sad story behind this, that she's holding back something.
Right.
I mean, I don't know a lot of deep cover operatives, but if I was gonna be a deep cover operative, it's that kind of commitment to the part that I would want to be able to live up to, and I respect you whether or not you're on our side, because if you are, then hey, that's great, and if you aren't, then wow, you're playing your part to perfection, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Much as you might respect the craft, Mortrick. I mean, I've seen what these shadow spinners have wrought. You would not appreciate seeing what they can do, even if it takes great skill.
If you wish to know more about Clan Shadowspinner in a more material way, you can join one of the patrols, or perhaps even spend some time in the auxiliary battalion. They will not turn wandering heroes such as yourselves away.
That's generous, but I'll take it.
Your professions are not clear to me, but you did come into this house wearing bloodied equipment.
Honestly, I don't think our profession is like super clear to us either. Mostly we just wander around, murder some things, and then steal shit. Like,
That makes you sound as if you were criminals.
well, I mean, we have so far mostly murdered things that needed murdering, and we've stolen shit that belonged to people who are dead already anyway, so it's not like they needed it anymore. I mean, like, yeah, it's not a great look. We just need to work on, you know, our PR end, and then we'll be good to go.
Yes,
so
we
Mortrick,
should-
you have this weird thing that's happening where Runa and Guafina are looking at you at the same time with the same expression. It's actually super weird.
Both want to punch you in the face.
I see that look a lot.
It's mostly when he talks.
Unless there's more on that subject, I'd be curious to know more about these defenders, the 7 defenders.
I'm afraid I'm not aware of all of their names, but they are 7 legendary heroes gathered by the Archmage. Lady Zephyr the bow, Lord Talca the axe, Lord Spalska the glaive, Lady Beralt the hammer. They are of many races and many backgrounds, but they have chosen to live their lives here in Blingdenstone and devoted themselves to the cause of defending the city. And the Archmage has deemed them worthy.
I see. So they are, sounds like they're powerful heroes. Were they all together before they came here to defend the city?
No.
Okay.
In fact, they are replaced periodically when one of them falls.
Okay.
Wait, can I get a list of those implements again? There's the dude with the hammer, the lady with the thing, the other guy with the whatnot.
I will send it to you in Roll20.
Yeah, thank you.
And their leader is Archmage Ismali the Pale.
We appreciate all the information you've given us. Is there a place that we can talk in private for a moment?
Perhaps you would like to go upstairs.
Yes.
I could show you the bedrooms.
I mean, do we need to ask for permission? Isn't this Rick's house?
Are we in the guest house?
I'm assuming she
You
knows
are
it
in the
better
guest
than he
house.
does.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought, Runa, you were asking to speak with Guafina alone.
No, with our group alone.
Oh, then yeah, she would dismiss herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just stands up and moves out and says, "In several minutes, the sorrows will begin. I take the children every night. If you would like to attend, you may find it enlightening."
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yes.
I don't want to miss
I'd like
that.
to see that as
Thank
well.
you. I'm going to take a second to make sure nobody's listening in on us. And do you want me to roll something for it?
Yes, I do. Oh my goodness, that was so loud. Thanks for the resub, Lucas G Variety.
As soon as she's out of the room, while Runa is clearly doing something that I'm going to ignore her doing, I'm going to say, guys, do you think we're being groomed? Like, there are not 7 of us. I mean, if we count Hal and Cottontail, that's like...
That's
6.
Lillowin. Lillowin is her name.
Lillowin.
Whatever, Lillowin. You know, and we also have, like, had various horses, so, like, we could sub one of those in for
Captain
the
Espresso Leandro.
I mean, Captain Espresso, maybe. I kind of feel like...
The
little
Water Dragon
would be
Cinzia.
better
Rik-Jaxx, are you trying to intimidate Mortrick to be quiet?
That's pretty funny. No, I was
It's
trying
an
to.
Archmage,
I was trying to.
Archmage, and like people, and like we have an Archmage, and we're people. Like
I'm just going to cover his mouth for a second.
Who is your Archmage?
Yeah, wrong roll. All right.
Sorry, what were you trying to roll?
Investigation, but it's only a 9, so.
Yeah, it's
But
still not
I'm
going to be
gonna
very
look
high.
I'm going to look around while Runa's looking around too.
Okay, yeah, I mean, this place is pretty well furnished for an unused guest house. There's lots of empty barrels and some chests. Everything here, like, it's been dusted in the last year at least. It's clear that given the, you know, the floor situation, that children occasionally come in here to play, probably where they're not allowed. There's a perfectly functional hearth, and it seems like there's some sort of dwarven engineering to the hearth that allows the warm air to be pumped to the second floor through the floorboards. which means despite the fact that Blinged Stone is always 54 degrees, you can have a nice warm room. Since all the rooms are on the second floor.
Leave toys behind?
Sorry, what was that?
Like, are there any toys left behind?
No.
Okay. I'm going to start prestidigitizing, just kind of clean things up a little bit.
All right, yeah. You can Mary Poppins shit. You just like swoosh and dust disappears.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Just want to remind you, again, even if you prestidigitize the dirt away from yourself, it doesn't change the smells. Runa, you look around to make sure no one else is hanging around the house. No more Natalta is going to swing down and interrupt you mid-conversation. You're pretty confident that everyone that is in the compound is back in the main hall.
Okay. As much as I appreciate you guys trying to get into the inner working of the city, we do already have a job here. Does anyone remember who has employed us and why?
That's what I'm saying. We have an archmage. That's why we're the people.
I don't think he's free enough to help us.
Oh,
We do have a job already,
that's true.
and we have no information on it, or little to none.
Honestly, I even forgot what we were looking for.
I think this might be a good way for us to gather information to get acquainted with some of the people and their problems, and then maybe we'll be able to find a way in.
Nope, that is not. Nope, we don't want to get to know them because then we're gonna want to help them, and we've got bigger stuff going on.
We're already
We can
about
keep
helping.
them as just like numbers on a page or data points in a graph. Like that's going to be easier for us than when we inevitably have to kill someone. If we don't know anything about them, it's so much easier.
I just don't really recall you killing many people, Mortrick. I mean, I don't know.
I have been present when people are being killed, and I've killed a dog, so that's close enough for me.
So and you never had any regrets about that dog. So I don't know what you're so worried about getting attached to.
That dog was trying to kill us, and we didn't know its name. That's how it was so easy for me to kill the dog. That, and it was asleep. If it had been awake, I don't think I would have stood a chance.
I mean, I don't plan on going on a murderous rampage in this city either. So
I'm not saying we're going to go on a murderous rampage.
Right.
Someone is going to force us to kill them. That's what always happens.
Just to be clear, Bearded, I know that you're asking what item you're here to look for, but if none of you have the notes for what item you're supposed to be looking for, I feel like that is a very funny divergent storyline. You guys have traveled continents and thousands of miles, and you don't even remember what you're supposed to be doing.
it's been such a long journey.
There is nothing more D&D campaignish than that. Yes, you can technically make an intelligence check to see if you recall.
Something of measure, right? Wasn't there?
That's true.
Something of measure.
Yep.
That Runa isn't allowed to pick up, right?
Fascination or some shit.
That is also correct. Several of these words have been correct. The thing about Runa is correct.
Okay.
What did you say, Runa?
Yeah, Runa, you recall that you were looking for Ravanavar's measure of fixation. Saint Mercia Ravanavar is, of course, the founder of the order to which you belong to. Now, you guys are the Drawn Blades as your cover as a mercenary company, but you're actually members of the Fellowship of Finding, which their job is to bring these items back to the Wizard Mardrovian.
What was it called?
Ravanavar's measure of fixation. I'll put it in the Roll 20. Oh, I'm just getting a look at the art tonight. Let's see what we got going on.
Awesome as always.
A hand. I see some lips. I see an afro, apparently. Happy birthday, Connor. Who's this dude over here on the left-hand side?
One of the guards.
Okay, all right. Who's this handsome guy with the big chin?
That's how Mortrick sees himself.
Oh my god. He sees himself as Gaston, but he's really LaFro.
Minus the 6 dozen eggs.
Oh, is this Gwafina in the lower left-hand corner?
Yeah, I'm working on
I can't see it very well, but all right.
I was kind of working on a Gwafina, but I gave mine up. Connor's is way better.
All right, so I'm taking down better notes now. So we're part of the Fellowship of Finding. Is that what you called it?
Yep.
Okay.
Fellowship of Finding.
And our personal cover is the Drawn Blades. Okay.
Yep.
Is Gwafina one of these rare drow with fangs that we hear people talk about?
I have things in this version.
Yeah, sure. Let's make that shit canon as fuck. This joke is never gonna die.
It's really not.
You have no idea how much shit I got on Discord afterwards. People were like, Arthur, are you horny on main? I was like, no. What's horny on main? Now I know what horny on main means.
I don't know what that means.
Horny on... Okay, so do you remember when Ted Cruz liked a porn video? A porn tweet? You don't remember that? That's what's called being horny on main, right? Like normally you would make a whole second account to do shit like that. So horny on main is when you accidentally do it on your primary.
That's good. That's good. I like
Don't worry, audience. I got you covered.
Just in case. We have no idea what the
the measure of fixation
is.
You were given a pretty interesting description of it. It's a magic item that's capable of changing things based on the owner's perception of their value.
And we know that Runa.
You were told that it is probably the most dangerous of the 5 items you're looking for.
If I couldn't touch the ocarina, Runa is absolutely not allowed to touch.
I think you were privately told by Mardrovian not to allow Runa to get a hold of it, as it would not be compatible with her personality.
Oh.
Why am I not allowed to touch it?
That was never explained. He simply said it and never explained it. The same way he said it about Mortrick, but never actually explained it.
And he said that just to me, or he said that to everyone?
I think everyone heard it, but he said it to you.
To me? Oh. Because I don't want to be the only one left, stuck in the whole don't touch the magic item party, all right? Yeah, do I have a problem with impulse control? Maybe. I'm not going to admit to it, but maybe. And I feel like I am being unfairly prejudiced against in the magic item department. You guys all think my sword is cursed.
So Mardrovian told you not to let me touch it.
I mean, maybe yes, but
that's fair.
Other reasons?
These items are powerful, and I trust his judgment.
Really? I mean, dude basically just found us off a street and stuck us together to do this thing. That seems like a terrible decision-making process.
I think he's a pretty sensible individual. I don't think he just found us off the street at all. Well, maybe he found you off the street. I don't know, Mortrick.
Yes, I can imagine that.
I mean, I was definitely living on the street when he found me. Yeah, for sure. I just upgraded into a refrigerator box from my previous barrel.
Technically, I was from the street as well, so...
See?
Okay. If we're being literal here,
yeah.
I mean, either you're on the street, or you're inside, or you're outside.
Oh,
yeah,
or underground.
Wow, Kazador is literally just J-Lo, Jenny from the Blocking Us right now. Kazador's in a music video with shiny gold coins coming around him. He's got rings on all 10 of his fingers. Talking about, yeah, I'm from the street.
Hopefully we made in Manhattan this bitch.
But yeah, so we probably do need to find that thing.
So outside you can hear someone gathering up. A lot of talk in Gnomish. It sounds like Gwifina, but
and I run out.
Okay. For the rest of you, you hear a lot of drowish voices speaking accented Gnomish.
Before we leave, I'll just say, keep your ears open. We're not here to intervene in other people's lives, but would like us to make this a better place before we leave.
This is Rik-Jaxx's property, though.
You're gonna say apartment?
Apartment. It's my flat.
There's several. I mean, there are several houses inside these estates.
Complex, so yeah.
It's a condo.
This is just the kids' playhouse. So no, but I do want to have a plan on what we're going to do, and it's too bad that Mick took off. So the other option was when I was talking to the what are they called? The Securitats, they recommended maybe going to the auction. and getting mercenary work. So I'm throwing that out as a suggestion, not as this is what we have to do, but we have multiple suggestions tonight.
We have
on how we might.
We just don't have the money to be here very long, so it might not be a bad idea to get some work while we're here.
Yeah, and get some intel, because I agree with you, Runa. We're here to get intel. So, and Kaz, you've said the same thing. So I think we have a couple options.
Yeah, I mean, I think both joining the security patrol or doing the mercenary work, they're probably going to lead to the same points.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Are you all heading outside to join Mortrick?
Let's go find our friend.
So as the three of you walk over, Mortrick, you're joined by almost 24 drow children who have assembled themselves into 4 ranks of 6, with the youngest ones in the front, and then the oldest ones trying to keep everybody else in the ranks. And they move out of the estate's gates together towards some location down the streets. Now, as you recall, the streets around the estate were kind of abandoned and not particularly well taken care of. This is the bad part of town. I mean, it's literally called the Foreigners District.
Right.
And it hasn't been repaired since the invasion. But as these children lead you towards the location with Guafina watching over everybody, you come to a almost amphitheater like open area, but it's less like an amphitheater, more like a 360-degree, pit that tears down. And at the bottom of it, there are 4 drow, 2 men and women, setting up a set of stringed instruments. And as the party, Kazador, Runa, and Rik-Jaxx, enter, they begin playing a song, and it is incredibly sad sounding. There is more than a small bit of magic infused in their performance, which becomes immediately apparent when illusions weave themselves over the playing. So there's probably a bard among them. And we see images of...
Mortrick, how come you can't do that?
What? I don't see anything.
How come you can't play with them losers? That's awesome.
I thought it was going to be a fight to the death. Then they brought out instruments. So I thought, they're going to fight with instruments.
So while you guys are talking, someone comes over and is just like, shh.
Then I'm going to lean over and whisper to Rik-Jaxx, hey, did you guys bring snacks? I kind of just ran out. And I don't think there's going to be a vendor while we're here.
Later.
So that same person is just like, the children are better behaved than you.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Hey, Ribbon. I want to hear it.
So it only lasts for 3 or 4 minutes, but there's a lot of indistinct shapes that look like a blobby form of Blingden stone, and we see dark shapes detach themselves from the ceiling. We're looking at almost Lego or clay-like soldiers moving forward to engage them. There's fiery arrows being shot back and forth, and that's when the performance ends. And one of the members of the band walks up. She supports her bass as she's going along, pulling herself, using it almost as a cane. And she walks right up to Rik-Jaxx and says, "You are the master of the House of Jaxx."
Is that a question or a statement?
Is it true?
It's true. That's what they tell me. This is
your
my
mother
old home.
and your grandmother and your great-grandmother. In every district around the city, in the middle section of each sorrow, there is a piece for the local district. In 3 days' time, return here, where I will play the death of the House of Jaxx. It is the piece that I wrote myself to honor your parents' legacy as they fell for this city and became martyrs.
I appreciate your invitation, and
I would be honored for you to hear it.
I'd be honored to hear it as well, so thank you.
This is the only place in the city you will hear it at. And should you miss here, I will not do it again for another 40 days.
I'll see if I can make that happen.
Did she say that in Gnomish, I imagine?
Yeah, the whole conversation is in Gnomish.
Okay.
When she moves off, I'm going to lean into Rik-Jaxx, but I'm going to be staring at the person who shushed me earlier and be like, hey, what did she say?
Is she gone?
Yeah, so she's hobbling along using her base to help her walk.
Okay, so, and the performance is over, so I'll let these guys know.
Everybody's dispersing.
I'll let these guys know. And do I happen to see, I'm not going to do too much, but do I happen to see Natalta?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, how's he looking?
Well, not so great. You know, he's in the oldest rank of kids, but he won't make eye contact with you. He almost seems like a dog that did something wrong and is now ashamed, and, you know.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, what's next, group?
Well, Gwafina is gathering the kids to head back, but they're all like a pack of Mortricks.
I'm going to go over there and just try to rile the kids up. I'm like, wasn't that great? No, wait,
really? Really?
I'm so sorry, children. That was the wrong. Nope. I'm going to leave now. I'll see you guys later.
Do you actually do that?
Nope.
Okay.
I do not.
Oh, wow. Look at these fangs right here. These are some good fangs right here. We zoom in on those fangs.
Do we need to go to break early? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Nice close-up.
I'm gonna get a backpack for you for my next item.
What? How long? I mean, sort of. Are we? How long have we been up? Are we like ready to go to sleep, or?
So it's probably evening for your local biorhythm, but it should be clear here that that means nothing in this town, right? It's always eternally dusk here. They have no surface time zone methods of any way. That's why the estates are so broad, just so that you can't hear any street traffic from the interior. But yeah, like when you want to eat, when you want to sleep, that's all up to you here, as far as you can tell.
Well, I understand. I'm just wondering how tired we are. Are we really?
I mean, Runa's probably tired of Mortrick's bullshit, but other than that, you guys are. You could rest, or you could still get some stuff done.
Okay, just checking.
I think I'll rest, actually.
Well, maybe let's arrange for whatever we're going to be doing tomorrow before we tuck it in. Okay. Either we're going to go get this mercenary with the patrol, Mortrick. I think we decided it was going to be one of those two things will take us to a conclusion that we will find useful.
I just want to say real quick, Mortrick is definitely chaotic neutral. There's no trending towards good. Nothing I've heard from him has ever indicated to me that he believes in the concept of good or evil.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does, however, believe in causing shit wherever he goes and in tearing down the establishment.
Gotta fight the man.
He's not chaotic neutral insofar as I can just do whatever the fuck I want. He's chaotic neutral insofar as he literally doesn't believe in systems. Or paying back debts.
Except for the one he paid money to and never paid back.
Yeah, exactly. He knows now that if he doesn't pay back his debts, a wizard will come along and do it for him.
Exactly. Like, I've got no worries in my life. I don't think I can die, and I don't think I have to take any consequences for my actions. It's perfect.
And honestly, we've been able to him.
Yes, you have.
In the best possible way.
What is this thing over the measure of fixation? Is this some sort of giant thing of hair?
Yeah, I was trying to give her like a big like beehive bouffant.
Marge Simpson?
Yeah. That's how what Venus strikes me. The Marge, yeah.
That's what gets him going, guys.
It's the hair.
Simpsons was Nicholas in the hentai.
Arthur's gone. That's it. Game over.
Fangs and beehives, what have we come to?
I feel like I caused this with the fangs thing, so I take full responsibility, but it's so goddamn funny. All right. Sorry, Runa, you're heading back to go to sleep. What about the rest of the party? I mean,
I'd be like, Runa, do you want me to go with you to keep you company?
oh boy.
Please.
You gonna be okay by yourself?
I'll be fine, thank you.
Okay. Hey guys, what are we doing? I'll hang out with you.
You know, I'm actually in favor of Runa's suggestion. Maybe we should just get some rest, make sure that we're all, 100% rested up, and then go, in the morning, our morning, we'll decide if we're going to go to the auction or join up the patrols. Either one's fine with me. We just got to get some intel.
We thought we were going to join the patrols? That seems like a long-term commitment. I don't think we're in town.
We do a ride along. But anyway.
Is there a library in town, Rick? Can you direct me to the library?
I don't think libraries are.
Oh, because gnomes can't read, Kaz? Is that what you're trying to say? You don't think they have the written word here?
I'm pretty sure, given Rik-Jaxx, the way he carries himself, there's definitely got some libraries here. I just don't know if we're welcome.
I've already walked away at this point.
Yeah.
All right, Rick.
I thought you were afraid of libraries because they send you
to a library and get me in the library.
Hey, I've got a map, so you can consult the map.
Is your map in Gnomish?
It might be, but it's still a map. We can go take a look at it together if you want.
Cool. But if you just point it out, I'm sure I can sweet talk my way in.
The royal castle has a public library. And there are 2 private libraries in the first and second quadrant.
All right, I'm gonna head to the Royal Library.
There's also the 6th quadrant, which is the thing that's on the ceiling, which is basically a wizard's tower. So they undoubtedly have a library there. But you have no idea how to get up there because it's on the ceiling.
Yeah.
I'll join you, Mortrick, if you're going to go to the library. I mean,
listen,
go wrong. A human and a dwarf enter.
I don't mean this to be.
Sounds like the start of a joke.
Kaz and Mortrick walk into a library.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be mean, Kaz, but like this whole library thing, it's kind of my zen space. And if I have to keep apologizing for a super racist dwarf wherever I go, I don't know how that's gonna play. So like, yeah, you can come with, but like, can you just like maybe not talk?
We'll see how that works.
Oh my god.
Well, all right. I mean, if that's how you feel, Mortrick, I'll leave you to your thing.
I mean, you can come, you just can't speak. Like,
oh, it's all right. I wouldn't want to be a second-class citizen to your party.
I enjoy the quiet time, okay? Like, you guys are pretty chatty as a group. I want to enjoy some silence.
Let's see.
Go to sleep.
So, explain to me what the division of labor is here right now. Mortrick is going alone to a library. It's not clear to me which one.
The public library.
All right. Kazador, where are you going?
I guess I'll go back and rest. That's the plan.
And Rik-Jaxx?
I'm okay resting.
All right. Let me ask you a question, Mortrick. What languages do you speak?
I think just common and celestial, common, deep speech, and undercommon.
You're actually gonna. I was about to be like, "Ha! Fucking got you," but I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure you're okay now.
Yeah, sadly, I think that undercommon is gonna serve you pretty well. I think deep speech is for fucking monsters and shit, but
it seemed pretty useless, which is why I picked it.
Just looking up what deep speech is, I'm pretty sure it's monsterish language. Deep speech is the language of aberrations. Okay, yeah, that's not going to get you anywhere. So you go into the Royal Library's public library section. It's difficult for you to get through, but occasionally you do find signs posted to indicate in Undercommon where to head to. When you come in, a young woman sitting at a desk nearby stands up and adjusts her glasses and says, Dovinde, Tahare Nehere.
Nope, don't got that one.
What language do you say that in?
I'm going to say that in common.
She looks confused at you.
I'm going to say, hello, do you speak Undercommon?
Yes, Undercommon. I speak.
Good. You sound just about as proficient as I do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do I need a card or can I just wander around?
You cannot leave with book unless you have card. If you want to stay, is fine.
When do you close?
I'm sorry?
Like, when do I have to leave?
When you go to sleep?
I can't sleep in the library?
No.
Okay.
No.
But I can stay as long as I want?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to give her the 2 thumbs up and I'm going to wander off.
Okay, she like adjusts her hair slightly and then gives a deep sigh. Can I help you?
No,
what is looking for?
I mean, I'm really just here to look. Really, I mean, I'm not like, I'm not here for any good reason. I mean, I don't want to say that. That sounds bad. Like,
but you have said.
I'm just looking. You know, like, it's a big library. It's been a long time since I've been in the library.
The biggest library in Underdark.
That is fantastic news. This is actually my first Underdark library.
Yes.
Yeah, first, number 1. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I can tell.
Have a good day, and I'm gonna leave.
She moves to like grab your elbow and is like, "Please let me help. I am worried for you."
Let's start with like, what? How do you guys classify books down here?
Dewey Decimal.
Oh, perfect. We use that upstairs too. Man, that is convenient, right? Like, I think it's fascinating how good ideas will crop up independently in diverse cultures. You know, it's not something you think.
No, it's not independent. It's just better than what we had.
What did you used to have?
We classify by author's relationship to royal family.
That sounds like a terrible system, but I can understand why someone thought it made sense.
It led to a lot of government treaties in the central chambers, where the kings like to look them over.
Yeah. And that is some pretty dry reading, so I hear. So, like, what am I looking for specifically?
Yes. I want to remind you, she only comes to about your waist height, so she's like reaching up to keep firm hold on your elbow to keep you from running off.
We're like, where is your, let's call it speculative fiction, like make-believe stories?
Oh, you don't want fiction about mining speculation?
Nope. That also sounds boring. Yeah, just like
boring. That is almost 10th of library.
Is mining speculation? I have a friend. I will bring him back. He would love to look into that. I don't know. He probably doesn't. He doesn't seem like the type.
You are looking for general fiction.
General fiction. Yes.
Okay. You come this way.
All right.
She starts dragging you along. So, where are you from?
I am from, it's kind of like, I like to think of myself as just, a man of the world. I don't think any one location defines me. as a person. And, you know, so let's just say I'm a man from everywhere.
But you aren't from here.
No, not from here. I'm from everywhere upstairs. This is, again, first visit, you know, downstairs.
Okay. And what do you do?
The least amount possible.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. I don't do anything. I occasionally visit libraries, and I let other people provide for, you know, all of my needs and wants.
Oh, you are a sage.
That is probably the most complimentary thing anyone has ever called me. Thank you.
Who do you work for?
Some dude, I think he might be an archmage. So, like, listen, I heard the story about, like, these 7 people and this archmage, and I think, you know, fingers crossed, we're not in that story, but I'm afraid we might be.
What?
Yeah, you know, it's a theory in development. We don't need to spend a lot of time on it.
Okay. All right. We are at fiction section. So she's brought you to, it's like 7 stories deep. So you're like on the top level, and it just goes down and down and down. 12 shelves with hundreds of books deep, and then each level has one of these 12 shelves. Doing some quick math calculations, there's got to be like over 100,000 books here.
This is amazing. I think I love this place. Can I give you a hug? I'm really happy right now. This place makes me happy.
Yes?
All right, I'm going to give her a hug.
All right, I want to point out again, she is only waist height to you, so you're going to have to get down on your...
yeah, it's hunched over. It's going to be super awkward.
Okay.
I'd be like, great, so I can just hang out here now, right?
Yes.
Okay, if I need anything, I know where to find you.
She looks around and she says, signs are in Undercommon.
Yes, I speak Undercommon.
Yes.
Yes.
Do
so
you
we're good.
read?
Can I read Undercommon? When you
yes,
have
if you can speak it, you can read it.
You can read it.
She's just confirming that you can.
Oh, yes. Yes, I can.
Okay. Your
right.
first time in library here? My first time being hugged on job.
There you go. It's a banner day for everyone.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to stare at her until she leaves.
All right. She turns around and shuffles away. Every few steps, she turns around and looks at you, and then turns back and then keeps shuffling away.
All right. And
then turns and looks at you again.
Just going to be perusing the shelves until she, like, turns the corner and is out of sight.
Yep. She's out of sight.
Okay. And, like, what section am I in? It's just general fiction, right?
Yes.
What's, like...
The whole first third of it is all A-lettered authors.
I'm just going to pull, like, the first book off the shelf.
Just the first random...
Just completely random, yeah.
All right.
Were you expecting something different?
The book is written in Draconic.
Okay.
It appears to have some sort of like thing eating its own tail emblem on the front of it.
Okay.
It seems to be bound in some form of leather, but you're not really... It feels super weird when you run your thumb over it.
Like, yee. All right, I'm going to go over like a couple shelves and just randomly pull off another book.
Okay. This one, you're not really sure about the alphabet. It looks elvish of some kind. When you begin flipping through it, there are very vivid depictions of nymphs and other fairies. It seems to be almost exclusively naked female fairies. Like a bestiary of fairies.
Of fairies?
But only the hot ones.
Only the hot ones. Do any of them have fangs? If not, I'm out.
Actually, I feel like I'm very comfortable here saying that many fairies actually do have fangs, so...
Yeah, so I'm going to get, like, probably a stack of, like, 5 or 6 books just from random shelves,
Okay.
and then head back up to the front desk.
All right. So when you get back there, she's got a pen in her hair and is just like looking over stuff, and then pulls out the pen and says, "Oh, it's you."
Yeah, do you have a reading room?
Yes. Everywhere?
Do I see chairs? I haven't bothered to look yet.
No. She's just like, you just sit down.
Like on the floor?
Yes.
There's no chairs? You have like a couch? Maybe a nice divan?
What is couch?
It's, just...
Divan?
They're like pillows that eat too much and they get fat. They're fat pillows. No, probably not. We'll just skip it.
You can use chair beside me if you wish to use desk.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to sit down and I'm going to first open up the fairy book and then look at her sheepishly and put it away.
Oh my god. I just want to be clear here. You're literally pulling up a fictional porno beside her. And then being like, whoops, didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to kind of like flip.
Fortunately, she's not paying any attention to you.
Okay. I'm just going to like flip through them as if I can read them, even though I can't read most of them.
I mean, the last one actually is in common, so.
Oh, is that what is that one?
The last one is called Dance of the Dragons.
Dance of the Dragons. Robert was right. That's all I'm saying. You with me on that, lady?
She's like, Robert, no, is love story. Very famous.
Is it? Like, is it a good like, listen, I'm not interested in love triangles. So, like, tell me they get together at the end and I'll suffer through it. Otherwise, I don't care.
There is yearly festival about Dance of Dragons. It is about 2 dragons that love each other and make fire.
And presumably they dance.
Yes, but they dance dragon-like.
Like, are these 2-leg dragons or are these like 4-leg dragons?
It depends on the depiction. In most festivals, they have many legs.
Interesting. Hey, so I heard about this thing on the way over here. It's a measure of something. Like, so I think it might be a cookbook. Do you have a cooking section? Measure of something. Fixation, fascination. I don't know. It sounds like
Make a persuasion check.
Would you have something like that? Let me go to roll 20. Skills. Persuasion.
That's a 12. I love how it would have been a 26. If only you had had advantage. So she says, measure of fixation? It is...
Yeah, sure.
Yes, is in fiction section.
Oh, it is?
Yes, child tale to scare small little rocklings.
Perfect. Hey, could you guide me back to that section?
Which one would you want?
Wait, what? There's more than one?
There are hundreds of tellings of story.
About the measure of fixation.
Yes. Big, scary, dark lord appears and must be defeated by heroes. They chop up his body and turn it into magical artifacts.
Yeah,
Everyone knows this is story for bad children.
Did your mom tell you that, or did your parents tell you this story? I don't mean to imply that your mother, was the only one who told your stories. I apologize to your father.
So tears well in her eyes real quick, and she says, my parents died during the fall of Blingdenstone.
I forget that was a thing. I am so sorry.
I was raised here in library. I spent a lot of time reading all of the books here.
That sounds like a wonderful, wonderful way to spend your time. So what's your favorite version? Like what version of this, cookbook story do you feel like really sticks out to you?
Oh, the one where Hollow gets revenge on all of the others.
All right. Yeah. Can you find that one for me, please? Do you mind if I just still here? My feet hurt. I've been walking a lot today. If anyone comes in, I'll just keep them here until you get back.
I think you should come with me.
Okay, I can do that too.
All right. Let's cut back to the rest of the party. You guys are just bedding down for the night?
Yeah.
I mean, is there an inn? Probably got the frequent inn for some food.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to head to some sort of establishment within the city, you can certainly go and grab some food for the night.
Yeah, Rik-Jaxx, are you hungry?
I'll come along.
All right. Well, you're the one that talks the talk here.
Oh, so you need me? No, I'll come along.
Yeah, I think I do. I mean,
I'm your translator. Let's have at it.
So
And
at the
passport.
edge of the third quadrant, there is a place called the Hound's Ale House that in 4 languages, including Common, Undercommon, and Gnomish, and also Elvish, declares itself to be adventurer and hero friendly. Mercenaries welcome.
this looks like our kind of place, Rik-Jaxx. What do you think?
I'm following your lead. Let's go for it. What could happen? Ha!
As you all step in, you almost run into the chest of a tall drow man who's just wearing an open vest and has a battle axe strapped to his back and is wearing tight leather pants. And he says, I was looking for trouble and now I have found it. Look at you, tiny friends. Come! Let us have a drink together. Come, 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 come! And so he grabs
Right up
the
your
shoulders
alley,
of the
Kaz.
2 of you and then turns around and heads back into the establishment and tells the barkeep, they will cover my tabs now, huh?
No, we won't.
They will by the end of the night. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Come, sit down. I know the best corner. It's over here. So it's not like there's a huge amount of people in here, but they're all dressed like you. And by that, I mean, there are a lot of cloaks. There's a lot of openly worn weapons. More than a few people have spots of blood or other dark, not savory stains on their clothing. A lot of people who immediately look to see who enters a room and assess them instantly before moving onwardly. The name is, well, around here you can call me Argon. Argon Karaka.
Hello, Argon. My name is Kazador. This is Rik-Jaxx.
Ah, welcome. Welcome, friends. Welcome. You, I think, are new to Blingdenstone.
New and old.
I don't know what that means, but that's fine.
Yes, we've just arrived.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I know everybody. But more importantly, I can tell that you are looking for a new member of your party. No need. I'm already here for you. You can tell. There are always between 3 to 5 people traveling. Every time I walk out of an inn, I know I will run into somebody. There's only 2 of you. That means you need a third. I'm here for you. Argon Karaka. You see, I leave the thinking and the talking to everybody else. When they want to talk to the bad guy, there's always a villain wherever we do something and they say, aha, now is the time to reveal my evil plot. That is when I throw my axe at them and cut their head off. Everyone's like, oh no, we needed to interrogate him. I'm like, no, he needs to be dead. That is the job of Argon Karaka, is to make people dead. People say, don't put your boots on the table, have good table manners. Why do you always snort when you are speaking to the king? Stop laughing all of the time. Argon Karaka is there to slash spider in half. Argon is there to crush tiny cowards. Argon is there when you need to kill people. You look like people who have trouble killing people. You look like people who don't put your feet on the table. You need Argon Kraka, and that is why I am saying you want me to join your party. Huh?
I mean, I've been known to put my feet up on a table a time or two. And
Okay, all right. Maybe you're a little wild.
This dwarf will dance on the table if you get him drunk enough.
I mean, I've already.
Should we get him drunk enough?
I mean, I've already had quite a few today already. But I mean, I am here for something. Certainly a food. How's the food here?
You'd get better if you just stayed at home.
Well, that's down. That's clear. But I mean, we're on the road. We're on the road now, so.
So the innkeep comes over. It is a overweight human man wearing a very stained apron, and he's holding a bloody butcher's knife. And he says, the name's Glow.
Hey, Glow.
Haven't seen you here before.
First time.
Welcome to the Hound's Ale House.
Thank you. This is a nice place you got here.
Thank you. There's quite a story behind it that you don't want to know about.
I mean, I'd like to hear the story. But
We'd be here for hours.
we're hungry. Yes, we're hungry.
I figured that much. I got boiled eggs with dried mushrooms. That's just the first course.
Okay.
I'll take just that with a glass of wine. Now, I'm assuming, how much is that? Off, not in character. How much do I need to have for this food?
Silver piece, probably.
Yeah, okay, then that's what I order.
Okay.
And what else? What's the second course?
Fried rust monster.
Oh, I'll take the first and second course.
Aye.
You want a third?
Aye. Third course.
I mean, I'll take the full set, whatever you have.
That's a dwarf. I always said those dwarves are thirsty bitches. Like the whole room laughs.
I mean, we are. It's true. I don't deny it.
Rather than a third course of food, Master Dwarf, might I offer you a third flight of beers? We might not have the best beers in all the district, but I have plenty of dwarven kegs I can pull from.
That'll do fine. Thank you.
So,
for all of this?
He says, 5 silver pieces will cover the meal for the both of you. And if you're covering Argon's tab, that's another 2 silver.
All right. I'll pay.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, you guys all get another round of boiled eggs and dried mushrooms. He also brings out a plate of fried rust monster for Kazador, and then a half plate for Rik-Jaxx to just, like, get a taste of it. And 3 sets of flights of beers, 1 for each of the 3 of you.
So, Argon, have you been here long?
Well, in and out.
And where else does your travels take you?
Well, the other 7 colonies. Sometimes I head down to one of the Dark Elf cities and sell my wares there. He pats his stomach and says, "These abs, those are my wares."
That Fanguzian Empire is a tough trip.
Oh, I don't like the surface.
Yeah,
it's too bright.
Yeah. It is quite bright.
I did a pretty successful stint, though, one time, with an adventuring party. They kept me on as their reserve member. I'd do the watches at night, and I'd sleep in the wagon during the day. And whenever we delved into a dungeon, and trust me, it's always a dungeon, whether it's a politician's estate, or whether it's a cave, or whether it's an actual dungeon, it's always a dungeon. It'd always be dark inside, no matter what.
I know how you feel.
So I'd participate then.
And have you ever encountered the shadow spinners down here?
But yeah, he puts one hand on your shoulder and is slapping the table, and he's bent over in half in laughter. Have I ever encountered the shadow spinners?
I would expect so, but I mean, I don't want to assume.
That's a good one.
What do you think? What's a good way to take them out then? What's your favorite way of killing the shadow spinners?
So he stands up and starts drawing his axe, and Glow is like, "Argon, you put that damn thing away! I'm not doing it again." He's like, "Come on, Glow, they asked me." Glow's just like, "Argon, You can tell him about it. You don't need to demonstrate. He sits back down and says, fine, whatever. So look, the best way to kill a man is to take your battle axe in 2 hands and just, you get your whole body into it, all the way from your toes and your ankles, through your knees, through your sexy, sexy abdomen muscles, down your spine, up your arms, and just every inch of your body, throw in that axe so it swings perfectly end over end, balanced, and then hits them right in the neck. Arterial spray everywhere. You'd be surprised what that can do to a dark elf, or any elf, or anything.
Axes can create a good mess, but I mean, I've seen hammers that'll split a skull in such a way that you'll never recognize it again.
So he takes the battle axe off the back and glows like, I'm warning you! He's like, "Urgh. Yeah, but can your battle axe come back to your hand for you?
My hammer can't, no. I mean, I've never seen that before. That is impressive. But I wouldn't want to throw my weapon.
It was enchanted by my mother. Aye, 'tis a powerful sorceress. She wanted to make sure I wasn't harmed on my journey, so I could come back and get married to her favorite young woman that she keeps in the area. Haven't been back home since.
You don't miss her?
My mother?
Yeah.
Oh, I miss her intensely. I just don't want to get married.
Who does, right? Yeah, that's some curious magic. I've never seen such things, but I'm not sure if I would want to mix magic and weapons. Maybe I under certain circumstances. But
Isn't your hammer there's magic, isn't it?
it seems to me like it's a different kind of magic. It's not.
But it's magical.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
There's
I don't know
magic.
exactly what makes it magical.
Yes, you do. You literally know it's a +1 magic weapon.
But I know that I don't know what makes it magical. Like
Okay.
Out of character. So I mean, like I guess these things something can be enchanted, and then some can be like religiously endowed in some fashion. That's how I imagine.
It's also called enchanting.
I guess, but you know,
Enchantment.
I think Kaz thinks of it.
Technically, you're right, AP. Technically,
Thanks. I felt like conorhughesing it real quick.
always good.
Oh, is this the library attendant? I love how she has a poofy skirt. That's actually how I imagined her.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I want this whole thing compacted into a nice image so that we can get everything up on the art roll eventually. Connor, I'm going to have to rely on you to get that, because if I rely on Mick, I will never see it.
Yeah, I have last week's too. I can send it along.
Oh, excellent, excellent. You know, speaking of things that we can send ourselves onto an 8-minute break. We'll be back for the second half shortly. Stick around.
Sounds good.